Hello.
Hello.
Of course, you always fuck it up.
Nice.
Hello and welcome to Disorderly Conduct. This is episode 3. My name is Brian. They just call me Def. One of your co-hosts tonight. We're joined as ever by the effervescent Project One Moon.
Well, hello there.
And of course the pain in my ass who needs no introduction, so we're gonna skip over him.
How we do?
We got a guest tonight. MadBull couldn't be with us, but in his place we've got CaptainNubs.
Hello.
That's it, just a hello?
Yeah,
How are you today?
I'm great.
Great. Fantastic.
Stopped at the wacky tobacco shop and shit.
What state do you live in?
Nevada.
Oh, you're in one of the fun states.
Yeah, it's all legal.
So should we open with that then?
I'm
Well,
fine with it.
I mean, but for everyone
unfortunately, I just came back from a state where it was all legal.
it's one of those things. Midterms was on Tuesday, and amongst the regular, political things, it was mostly predicted. Democrats took the House, and Republicans gained a bit more seats in the Senate. Outside of that boring shit, 2 more states legalized recreational marijuana, and like 3 more added it to medicinal use.
Is marijuana going to get the 3/4 rule, or is it going to have to be state by state?
I think it's state by state, mostly because the federal government doesn't want to touch it.
Okay.
So
Texas will never get it.
It's one of those things to where if they wanted to, if Congress got their acts together, they could pass a law, but they don't. The federal government doesn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole, particularly the DEA under the Trump administration. The head of that is massively anti-pot. He is one of the biggest sticks in the mud in the world about it.
I never thought Utah would legalize it for any reason, though. So
Yeah,
Texas
Utah's a weird one because you think fucking Mormons in Salt Lake City. This would be like near the bottom of my list of states.
Wait a minute.
Money's a good motivator as well.
You think Mormons dun 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 dun?
Yes.
Yes.
Salt Lake City is like 95% Mormon or something ridiculous like that.
No, it's
Captain
fuck Mormons.
It's just one of those things when you think Utah, Mormons is one of the top things. For some reason, legalized pot doesn't particularly strike me as on their agenda.
But do Mormons run Senate? Like,
They make a whole lot of bank arresting a bunch of people for misdemeanors with pot, so
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
But they're going to make even more on sales.
True.
In
but
Utah, Mormons control most of the government, which is why I was kind of surprised by it. But, public referendums and all that, people voted.
in Utah, they made it illegal to buy cigarettes at 18. You can smoke them, just can't buy them until you're 19.
Yeah, this is the sort of religious backwater shit that you're dealing with in that area.
Yeah, no. Mormons are just the lowest of the low.
In addition to Utah, the state 10 minutes north of me, Michigan, also legalized recreational use,
That's not too surprising.
which is fantastic for me.
How is that fantastic for you? You live in freaking Indiana.
Because I live 5 minutes from the border, and I have friends in Michigan. Like, literally, you can throw a stone from my local Walmart to the state line.
There we go. But
I'm that way with Louisiana.
I know you're a damn corporate shill, so there's no fucking way you'll smoke it.
Yep, sold out. Slave to Big Pharma.
Much big pharma.
He's
He's also
hates the
biggest
idea of paper being able to be made in 3 months opposed to 20 years.
I mean, Brian is also, how do I explain it? The most basic of bitches. He probably had his pumpkin spice latte today.
I'm drinking it right now, in fact, and it is delicious.
Just try to be more basic.
Fucking pumpkin
On
spice
a scale
lattes.
of 1 to you, I can't even.
When they stop doing pumpkin spice?
I mean, most places wrap it up about Black Friday-ish and switch over to peppermint and other fucking Christmas shit.
No.
What we can't see is Brian Snapchatting 1,000 pictures of his pumpkin spice latte.
I don't do the
Have you
Snapchat
not
thing.
seen his Insta? Good God, his Insta is full of pumpkin spice pictures.
I don't.
And his UGG boots he just bought, you know?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And that weird artsy thing of sand handcrafted glass whatevers.
Oh God, yes.
I don't know about this.
It's called hentai and it's art. Thank you.
Basic motherfucking bitch.
What's this glass thing? I don't know about this.
It's
we
just
call
like
it
a
dildo?
decorative bottle filled with colorful sand.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Never mind.
Yeah,
You know, he slides it up his butt every night.
basic bitch things. Yeah, been well established.
Yeah, very well established.
He lubes it up with suntan lotion.
He puts the lotion on his skin,
Hey,
he gets the hose.
To be fair, that is literally the only part of my body that can tan.
You'll find him on the summer hours at noon with his ass into the sky.
Oof.
Oh, yes.
It's like a reverse farmer's tan.
Like, I mean, if the man comes out and pulls his shirt off, holy shit, there's a second sun.
It is the intended effect. I go out of my way to look this sexy.
I'm just as pale. I
Yeah,
have a farmer's tan going full of rage.
Like, I mean, if it's not his Uggs, I mean, because it is getting, tis the season for his Uggs. I mean, he's usually in, like, Crocs or flip-flops.
Ugh.
He's gonna wear one of those.
Don't mix me in with those croc-wearing bastards.
How many pairs of Crocs do you own?
He owns 10.
None.
He's got the big green itchy Christmas sweater just waiting to bust out of his closet.
Oh, I can actually attest to this. His mother would definitely make him a Christmas sweater.
Yeah, she is the type to buy ugly ass fucking sweaters and make us wear them.
Yep. Shit, she would buy me an ugly ass sweater and make me wear it. I fear for that woman.
Why do you think I moved fucking 5 hours away?
Yeah, I ran even farther, so shut up, bitch.
It's just
So-
it's one of those things like I think I'm good.
Right? I'm surprised she didn't curb stomp me for not making it to the freaking Halloween party.
Did you not? She was looking
No,
forward
I
to
had
it.
to work. I had to work.
From what I hear, it was a pretty awful party in the first place. Which, to be fair, they've been terrible for several years.
That's because
Well,
the life of the party isn't there.
yeah, I know I'm not there, so I can't fucking fix it, man.
Yeah, that's it. It's missing one dose of asshole from being perfect.
Well, actually, according to your mom, the last good one was the one I was there. Last one I was there at.
Because that was right before. I don't want to get.
We
into
both left.
I don't want to get. No, I don't think that's the main issue. They've gone downhill, but I don't want to talk about it.
Nice one, Captain.
There's some personal shit going on there.
Is this something I would know?
Potentially, I don't know, but
Well, just
I
at
don't.
some point, let me know.
I don't want to talk about it on podcast. So
That's why I said at some point, let me know.
We good to go on the next topic?
yeah, I
so-
think somehow going from legalized marijuana to Halloween parties is.
Do you want to go to secret endings?
Yeah.
Yes, and how fucking obnoxious the goddamn requirements are for the payday ending. I know I said it would be for all games, but I just want to complain about how fucking stupid this is.
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Moon, Nubs, I don't know if you've noticed, but Payday released its final mission a week ago.
I did not know this.
It did. I know you follow the game very closely, or at least are
Super closely.
You're familiar with my passion for the damn thing, anyways.
Yep.
They released the final mission, and if you complete the mission as intended, you get an ending, but it's considered by many to be the bad ending. To get the good ending in Payday 2, there is a list of 50 achievements you need to do. On top of those achievements, there are 3 heists that you need to complete on Overkill or higher. And one of them you have to complete on Death Wish or higher.
Which you should have done either way.
If I can't beat your game and get all the endings on normal difficulty, you can go suck a dick.
Yeah, dude,
You have to
Payday
be-
is so easy that normal difficulty is Death Wish. It's unbelievably easy.
You have to beat Golden Grin to get the first box. You need to beat Breaking Fed to get the first box again. And then you need to beat Henry's Rock to get boxes 3 and 4. Or 2 and 3, sorry. Once you've done that, you also need to have done Overdrill at some point to get the Mayan gold. Yes, the gold from that bank job is apparently Mayan now. And then there's a random list of achievements. It's 50 achievements long, and your character gets randomly assigned 20 of them. In order to know which 20 you need, after you have gathered all 3 of these boxes, you need to assemble them in the safe house, play a specific tone on the piano to activate them, and then this will give you some hieroglyphics that looks roughly like ancient Sumerian.
What type of Asperger's child solve this?
And then once you've got the
freaking Battlefield 4 puzzle.
Once you've got the glyph activated so you can see these ancient Sumerian things, you need to activate it for a riddle in Sumerian. So you need to translate 20 different riddles, and then once you get the riddles into English, you need to solve the riddles to figure out which of the 20 achievements you need to get to unlock it.
Wouldn't it just be easier to get all 50?
Absolutely.
On top of that, once you get into the mission itself, in the final mission, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who wants to play, but there is one big final grand mission. You know it once you play it. Once you get there, there's a secret place that you have to activate. Like Overdrill, it requires some achievements, or, some positioning and whatnot. Once you get there, there's a giant wheel with more ancient Sumerian. So in the middle of a heist being swarmed by cloakers, you have to translate 4 more fucking riddles while being swarmed by cloakers.
That's an overkill, ain't it?
This is the most obnoxious fucking thing in the world. Like,
What's
legitimately.
the obsession with a different language?
Like, legitimately, this is something to where, to get to this point in the game, to play through all these missions,
well learn Sumerian.
You've probably played like 50 to 100 hours at the very minimum to get this far.
You know what's the saddest part? It probably took them longer to make the puzzle than it was to break it. Because people broke this shit within like 4 days.
The second the data mining got out there, the second they got a hold of it, once they figured out there's something here but we can't activate it yet. And it's just waiting for the dev team for Overkill to patch in the activation. Because you could see, there is a wall here, there was something on the other side, there's nothing interactable yet. We had to wait until they got it. And the second it came out, there's the secret ending here. You can literally hack in the FMV in like 3 seconds from when the update was out there. It was online.
Yeah, I've already watched it.
To have somebody to actually play through it entirely, on stream it took about 12 hours. Because he was doing legitimately. He had the cipher written down, so he was translating the puzzles and trying to work through it all. But still, that is fucking an obnoxious requirement from your most dedicated community. Just fucking sucks, because I've put like 600 fucking hours into Payday 2. I had over 1,000 achievements, and then once this secret came out, a week before it, they added a whole bunch of achievements that I had to reacquire in order to qualify for it.
Kind of sounds like they just added more grinding to it.
Like legitimately, the start of this event, they added a bunch of achievements, and then come time the big reveal to find out if you're worthy for the secret ending, half of the achievements are shit that they just added to older missions like Big Bank and fucking Bank Heist got achievements.
Uh,
Nightclub got an extra achievement. You know, like the one that was here
Uh.
from fucking day one of the goddamn game 4 years ago. They add an achievement to that fucking thing.
Can I just say, like, this is not like the super hardest shit. Did you ever like play Destiny 1 and try to get, you know, the what is that fucking pulse rifle? Give me just a second.
the Vex one?
No, not the Vex, not pulse, not fusion rifle, not the Vex Mythoclast.
I mean, getting rare weapons and a shoot and loot is one thing, because I'm sort of used to that. I played a lot of Borderlands. I'm familiar with spending dozens of hours and not getting the weapon you want or the drop that you need.
No,
But
it's not a drop by any stretch of the imagination. It's called Outbreak Prime. You had to literally freaking learn binary, if you didn't know it, to get it.
Yeah, but still, there's a difference between an optional weapon and the true ending to your fucking game.
Yeah, you don't
that's,
actually get anything.
That's just my comparison here. This feels like just a massive bit of padding at the end of the game. Thank you for playing our game for the last 5 years. Now fuck you.
Now here's another 5 years
Again,
of work for the everyday man.
Again, I'm glad that the game has continued, that they finished it, and I'm playing through it, but the massive amount of obnoxious achievements that I have to get now to get the true ending just sucks. And I mean, true endings being hidden in games isn't particularly uncommon. Like I played a game on stream a few months ago. I played Momodoro, and the true ending for that one's also hidden, to where you have to find a optional power-up and then remember to switch to said power-up in the middle of the final boss fight. So it's not a new thing in video games. I mean, even fucking going back to like Metroid or whatever, the final like 10-second hidden cutscene is also a thing there too.
It's different from like exploration work to tedious, minute detail replication.
Exactly. In the case of Payday, it just feels like this is made intentionally obtuse for no goddamn reason.
Far Cry 4 did secret ending perfectly.
Are you talking about the dinner table scene? The start of the game?
Just sit there for 15 minutes and, hey,
spoiler.
Congratulations, you completed the game. That game's like, they have another one out.
What the hell was that
Far
game?
Far Cry 4 did that.
Golden Sun also did that, because at the start of the game they asked, "Are you sure you want to undertake this dangerous journey?" No? Oh, okay then.
You say no, and it comes up with no. It didn't come up with the credits. Just close the fucking game.
It's one of those amazing things.
Lots of games where if you just said no, it would save where you were at and kill everything. You want to do this? No. It closes it. Yeah.
Like
You're about to embark on a dangerous adventure. Are you sure you want to do this? No. And the game is over.
I mean, Souls games are also. I know something you guys are very affectionate towards. Those are also obnoxious, particularly like the DLCs and add-ons and stuff. But like final hidden bosses are such a massive fucking pain in the ass.
The very first one, for Dark Souls 1, I tried to like look around for it. I didn't look up the guide and how to get it. Just to get to the DLC in the first game, you have to get halfway through the game, kill three unique bosses or 3 unique mini bosses that are just randomly placed, and then go to an NPC area on a very minute place on a different map that had no significance, so you had no reason to ever really look back there, and then a secret portal will open up and grab you. That was just to get to it.
About going to the DLC. Yeah, but that was very well telegraphed. They flat out.
But I was saying that without a guide, like, just.
Well, no, like when you downloaded the pack, in the description, it even told you how to get there. So, like, pick this up, go here, you got it. Whereas, look at finding like Ash Lake. Where, fuck, good God.
Oh, yeah, you have to, like, go on the opposite side of where you need to be.
Yeah, you go to a spot where you would never in a million years end up, and you find a chest. Then you have to swing your sword, break behind the chest, and you find another chest. Then you swing through the wall again to go into the Grand Tree. Then you climb all the way down to get to a fucking Ash Lake. Then you get your ass blown up by a fucking Hydra as you're trying to get across to the very end spot, the farthest you can get, just to fucking join the Dragon Covenant.
Which every single person did.
I hated it.
For level 1, it was the best armor.
Not only that, basically you could go through, and when everybody figured this out, this is when the game became broken, but you bum rushed to get to the Dragon's Covenant, and once you've gotten to the Dragon Covenant, you can then use an infinite item glitch, and that's what everybody was doing with it.
Of course, that's what everyone was doing with it. Why does people fucking breaking the game not surprise me?
Dude, they had an infinite item glitch. They patched it, and then people a day later found out how to do the same infinite item glitch just by adding an extra step. Like you like the way you did it is like you'll switch an item, then you'll hit use. I can't remember the exact process, but that's what you did.
The new duplication glitch. That anybody doesn't know it.
That was
you would take a weapon with a long animation, a long swing animation. So something like a halberd, or you could do it with like a Baldur's Straight sword, anything like that. You would then swing your weapon in mid animation, hit start, pull up your menu, and at the same time as your menu's coming up, you would hit use like you were going to chug your Estus. And when you hit chug on the Estus, you hit up on the D-pad. It'll swap it to whatever you have slotted in the back item. And when you've used it, it would then use said item without wasting it, but you would drink an Estus instead. So, for instance, you use your boss soul and get 10,000 souls and chugged one Estus.
So you'd even do the better one. There was one where you used a dragon head, and you could use an item instantly.
Oh yeah, that was the original. You use the dragon head.
The new one, yeah. The new version was you had to lock on to something. That's all you had to do. You had to lock on to something.
Yeah.
And it did it.
And the best way to do it was to do it at the fucking dragon under the Hellkite Drake. Just go right underneath, lock on to him real quick after he's run up, and boom. The first way, the original way was you got your item, you used the dragon headstone while backstepping, so it would then go do the animation of the dragon headstone, but while you were backstepping, you hit use item, and you would just infinitely use the item as long as you had stamina.
Reminds me of back in like the original Pokemon days, where you could like deposit a Pokemon in your PC and shut off the game and it would duplicate them. And in Pokemon Gold and 2, they tried to change the system. They changed the time when it would check to see if the Pokemon transferred or not. But if you gave them an item, it would fail that check, so you would still get the duplication. So what was the third gen? Sapphire and Ruby. They changed it again, so they tried to make it to where it would check before it would even attempt to save. And then they found another way around it to where if you did it during a trade, it would still create a duplicate of the Pokemon as long as they had a held item.
Oh yeah, and you get infinite Master Balls.
That's just what it reminds me of. Is just you think you can stop us from cheating in your shit?
Remember when cheat codes used to seem difficult with like the Konami code, and now you've just got, okay, now I need to time this fireball just right.
No shit, right?
How buggy and glitchy were the older Pokemon games?
Obnoxiously so. You have,
like I said, go to Pokemon like Silver or Gold or even Crystal. Get ready, put your Pokemon into the box, transfer it from one box to the other. Saving, please do not kill the fucking power. And you pop it back up. You've got yours in there, and you've got it in the box as well.
It is obnoxiously so. The original Pokemon games were so ridiculously broken. You can literally, there's ways to glitch through walls. You can trigger just
the
about
speed run of the
any.
game is like super short.
You can trigger just about any encounter you want in the world. For Pokemon Yellow, there is a 0% speed run where the world record is like a minute because you wrong warp from the outside of Ash's house. Once you walk out, it warps you into the Hall of Fame. Like if you are,
and actually, it's not a minute. That is a 9-second.
The
game actually records it as 0000.
Yeah,
it's 9 seconds from start.
It's ridiculous to sort of watch just how crazy that they've gotten that down to. The first generation games are some of the most buggiest, barely held together by bits of string code I've ever seen. Like, if you've never seen a Pokemon speedrun, watch the Catch 'em All by Shenanigans. The fucking game might as well not be there because he's just wrong warping and teleporting. He's doing pseudo-coding with items in the inventory to try and force specific numbers and integers to get encounters. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they still make Pokemon games like the old ones.
I mean, the classic ones exist, but
like current gen.
no, they've completely done away with the style. Beyond remastering the classic ones, like I know Crystal just came out on the 3DS as, you know, just a direct port with, you know, like Pokemon Bank added to it and whatnot, but it's one of those things to where the style and the overall feel of it has evolved, and they haven't made a modern title like that since. Even recently with their last redo, Pikachu and Eevee, it's still modern combat engine.
It's not just modern combat engine, it's freaking Pokemon Go engine.
Some elements of it, yeah, and it looks tacky as fuck.
The catching of said Pokemon is all entirely Pokemon Go.
Is tacky as fuck. That's for sure.
I mean, come on.
But it legitimately, if you've never seen some of the older Pokemon games, there's a couple of Pokemon speedruns. Watch the 0% Yellow run, and then watch a Catch 'em All run, and you can just see just how obnoxiously broken it is. There was one from one of the AGDQs. They had a task bot on there, and the bot had rewritten the Pokemon code to show Twitch chat.
Nice.
It's just ridiculous.
Are you talking about Twitch Plays Pokemon?
Yeah, no, not that. But that was also a really, really interesting time.
Long live Bird Jesus.
Praise
I'm
Helix
surprised-
Fossil.
You would
I am
not
a-
think that you could actually beat the game when you've got that many people playing it at the same time.
It took.
It was bad.
I mean, it took like a week, like 100 some odd in real world hours to play through it. But
They did the same thing with Dark Souls, where they would pause the game and then people would put in commands.
yo, it is actually ridiculous. After a while, enough monkeys with a typewriter will make Shakespeare. Eventually, Twitch chat will be Pokemon.
Here's the thing about Twitch Plays Pokemon that was the problem. When we released Ajay, and when we released Jay Leno, that's when everything went to shit.
No, those were good times.
Those were bad times.
No, because they were false disciples. They weren't.
Bullshit.
They weren't leading us to the finishing.
Jay Leno? I'm not talking Dig Rat. Dig Rat was a bitch. I'm talking Jay Leno. Come on, man. And Ajay? Ajay was amazing. And then we had Bird Jesus. Bird Jesus forever.
Yeah.
I still want
Bird-
Jesus.
What we don't realize is in 30 years, there's going to be a religion based off of that experience.
There is. All hail the Helix.
Praise it. There's even a goddamn Twitch emote for it.
Next topic.
Neo, oh hi, sorry, I didn't see you. What's happening, buddy? Yeah, what's the next topic?
Well, we have the next two topics can be like combined. We already talked a little bit about the midterm elections, but smear campaigns. I don't know if y'all been getting them, but I've seen just like a little shit ton of smear campaigns on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube was the worst.
And it just makes me hate politics. I do not want to see smear campaigns.
I created an account just so that I could get the week of YouTube Reds that I wouldn't get the ads anymore.
The problem with smear campaigns is they work. Like, overwhelmingly they've done dozens of studies, despite what people will say and what they will preach till the end of the days. Campaigns that run more effective smear campaigns win, statistically on average, significantly more than someone who tries to run a clean campaign.
That might work in parallel with, not revenue, but budget. Because a lot of times it's the person with more budget also wins.
Smear campaigns work. It's just straight up. If you
the person with the more budget makes more smear campaigns.
Yeah. That's why I say it runs parallel with it.
Not necessarily so. I mean, you can look at even like the recent presidential races. Hillary tried to run a relatively clean campaign, and Donald Trump fucking lampooned her for all her bullshit. Right or wrong, it fucking worked.
I don't think you can say relatively clean. She definitely was saying a lot of stuff.
I'm saying compared to other campaigns before, compared to fucking the campaign being ran by, the Republican side, the Trump campaign, it was relatively clean. It wasn't great, but it didn't.
Most of the dirtiness went to
it didn't get results.
Votes to Hillary during the deciding two candidates
during the primary. I mean, it wasn't rigged in the technical sense, but it definitely was ridiculously scummy. I mean, don't get me started on all that. All I'm saying is
I had to fill out a paper vote to be mailed in at the election office. They wouldn't let me.
I don't want to go into like particular sides and politics. All I'm saying is smear campaigns work. That's why everyone runs them, even though the vast majority of people hate the goddamn things because they're awful. They take up so much fucking airtime. They just make you want to pull a bullet in your head.
Moon,
what's up?
Can I just say, have you not caught on that me, you, and Bull are a smear campaign on Brian?
True. There's some libelous, slanderous, fake news going on in this podcast, and I don't appreciate it.
I don't think fake news applies.
Yet at the same damn time, we're not just the smear campaign. We're the smear campaign that they went through behind and then checked it out. And no, these motherfuckers were right.
No. Don't slander, libel.
I think it depends on the type of smear campaign because
I did not sexually harass that woman.
So, because there was
they
also
just in
the
depth into sexually harassing women.
So, because obviously there's the ones that are like just badmouth the other person, but there was particularly one which it didn't seem too bad. It was a Democratic one, but it just
you were in Texas, so and with all of the fucking money pumped into that fucking Senate race between Cruz and O'Rourke, I bet you got the shit end of the stick for the last 3 months.
Not 3 months. It's been very heavy the last month.
That was something like the second most expensive Senate campaign in the world, and it was all fucking advertising. Oh, I feel so fucking bad for you.
But like, there's one particular one.
And this was a race that Beto only had like a 5% chance to win from the onset. Like he had realistically, he had no chance at winning it. But so much money in advertisements, I feel fucking bad for you.
Well, Democrats think there can be like a blue wave. It's not going to happen in Texas.
No, and that was the whole point. There's why so much money was pumping into that campaign, because it was closer than it should have been. Or at least that's the argument. Because this was a seat that Cruz in his last election got fucking up by like 20 points. Like no one came close to him. And this one he only lost by like 4 or 5, or he only won by like 4 or 5. That was the push of it. That was to activate Democrats in that area for future elections.
Maybe the smear campaigns worked. I mean, because there were smear campaigns going on where it's like Democrats were just painting themselves as the good guys. Like, do you believe in women's rights? Do you believe in equality? It's like all this stuff that everyone agrees on. It's like vote Democrat.
Exactly. It's one of those things. Is like it's regardless of your side on the issues, the smear campaigns worked. Beto tried again. relatively clean campaign, and it didn't work for him. Regardless of how you feel about the politics of the situation, they're fucking effective.
I'm just saying, I don't take Moon for a Democrat.
No,
and
I'm
I
a centrist,
definitely don't
actually.
take
if I had to peg Moon, I would say libertarian.
Kinda. I'm a centrist mostly. Lean more towards libertarian.
But, I mean, I definitely don't peg Moon for a Democrat either. The only Democrat we have, we want to kill, so...
Shut the fuck up, Aaron. No one asked your goddamn opinion.
And what am I,
support that.
Brian?
The spawn of Satan.
Thank you. I'm a militist, so whoever's gonna help out, that's who I want.
This is how we want to organize our politics. Who has the biggest fucking gun?
Exactly. Remember,
that's what Vic says.
the guy with the bigger stick is gonna win. It's not about who's smarter or stronger. It's about who's got the bigger stick.
You're going robotic on me, Aaron.
I've
Can you hear
never
me
met
now?
someone smarter than Mr. Bullet.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about who's got the bigger stick.
I mean, I don't want to
And-
brag or anything, but I'm rocking like a solid 3 inches.
Oh, yeah. You mean
God, that's
centimeter?
like 2.5 inches
That
for
might be
me.
yours?
I've got a solid. It's probably there.
Just look really closely.
I've got a microscope if you want to borrow it.
You have to believe, like
Oh,
Narnia.
No. We talked about religion last week.
No, I would like to make a point here. There's one thing that I will give the original Iron Man movie, besides the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is fucking awesome.
He really was. That was something that came out of fucking nowhere.
The fact that the Iron Man movie, the first one, was probably the best movie he's done in a long time, it shows. But when he says that, the best weapon is the weapon you only need to fire once, he's right.
He is. That's
Yeah,
the
that's why we
whole.
nuke Japan.
That's exactly Moon's point. Once you drop the second one was irrelevant. They were already convening to discuss surrender by that point. But
We just sped up the process.
we made that conversation a lot more easier with the second one.
Well, that's because we got a lot closer to them with the second one.
But
So,
yeah,
like, where's number 3 coming?
that's why
It's coming right on her head.
that's why nuclear deterrence is such a really clusterfucky sort of issue, because you only need one.
Yep.
One well precise fucking. Oh, I guess bigger targets like the United States, that might be more of a concern. But most places you only really need one of them if it's big enough.
Speaking of Robert
Agreed.
Downey Jr., I hear he's not
Or
going to
even
be
if
in
you
the
just
next
hit it in
movie.
the exact right spot.
Half
Yeah.
of the original Avengers cast haven't signed on.
Well,
Like,
not the Avengers, but the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie. They refused to put him
What?
into it because
I mean-
he's so much of a
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he's so much of a he disrupts the cast so much during it that they're actually saying he's not worth it.
I mean, to be fair, the last like 2 or
He should
3
not
Pirates movies
gotten
have been
a
terrible.
Grindelwald role.
Wait a minute. I actually liked the last one.
Which one was the last one?
Kinda.
The last one
Dead.
was with Captain Salazar. Dead Men Tell No Tales.
That one was pretty good.
I did not see it.
The mermaid one was shitty.
It's on Netflix. Go watch it.
After 3 and 4, I'd given up by that point.
I
Here's
just really
my
like the Jack character.
I
right?
liked him in the first one and the second one. By the third one, it was getting thin, and by the fourth one, I wanted to kill him. And I
here's the thing.
didn't bother after that.
Here's the thing. The 5th movie, I hate to say it, is probably the second best movie.
Yeah.
It was good.
I mean, it is damn good for a Pirates movie since they've gone so downhill. If it was the second movie that came out, I'd have been happy with that. Like, if it was, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Dead Men Tell No Tales, that would have been fine.
they They changed it so Jack wasn't really the point.
Thank God.
With 3 and 4, they focused on people liking Jack, and that killed it.
I mean, yeah, because realistically, he's not a particularly likable character. Like, he's entertaining.
He's the idiot.
He's entertaining. He's got a lot of potential there, but he's not likable. You don't want to
He's
build.
very selfish.
You don't want to build an entire franchise around that character because it doesn't. I mean, clearly it doesn't work. It only worked in the first movie as
Well, he's chaotic.
An
He's
oddity.
chaotic evil. No, he's chaotic neutral. It's,
I just wish Legolas was cooler in Dead Man Tell No Tales.
he's the older dude, right?
He's the what now?
The older dude with the monkey.
No. He's
that's Captain
Davy
Barbosa,
Jones.
buddy.
no Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom is not Davy Jones. He's Will.
Will became Davy Jones.
Will did not become Davy Jones.
I think he joined the crew. That's it.
Yeah, he did.
He became the captain of the Flying Dutchman. Did not become Davy Jones.
I mean, that's practically the same goddamn thing.
No, because Davy Jones dies.
But see, it's called Davy Jones' Locker. It's not called Captain Will's Locker.
And it's the curse of Davy Jones.
Exactly. See? This dude gets it.
It may be Davy Jones' curse. He's the one who originated it. Because he was the originator, it'll always be his.
It's like the Jared Pirate Roberts. If you're in control of the ship, you are him. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're arguing
the persona of him.
You're arguing semantics. You're arguing semantics at this point. In all intents and purposes, he's fucking Davy Jones.
Nah, Davy Jones is squid face, man.
He carries his curse. He flies the ship.
I will fucking stab you, Brian.
Davy Jones was an amazing character. I love him
as a villain, as an antagonist. Fucking fantastic.
He was amazing. So was Salazar, though.
I didn't really.
Salazar was cool.
I didn't really like how they wrapped up Davy Jones, though. That's why the third movie's got this weird sour taste in my mouth, because I didn't enjoy it, mostly because I think the ending was awful.
It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. They went to go get a bunch of pirates, and then all those pirates died.
Yeah, the intro and the middle bits, more of the Davy Jones stuff, really enjoyed. The rest of the movie, not so much.
I didn't understand meeting Jack's father. That wasn't necessary at all.
I actually fucking loved that.
I mean, it was a good character and it made sense, but I agree with Nubs. It felt out of place.
How did it feel out of place?
It felt like one of those, and surprise, he's here. It didn't feel like it was special or impactful or it had any real meaning. Like, you couldn't have said this with any of the other established characters or pirates. It's just like, we're going to have a shock moment here.
Like Captain Jack was going through doubts and thoughts about whatever.
Yeah, there was...
And, there was a little bit more backstory or emotional development with Jack.
See, that's the thing. There's no build to it. There was no build to his dad. There was no legitimate payoff to it. Even he's here. He says a couple of things, and then that's it. There was nothing to it.
And he's cool. I like his dad.
Yeah, the moments the character was there was nice, but it just felt like a wasted opportunity.
Hang on. I mean, it could have been better.
Because, Captain Jack died. There should be some kind of emotional growth based on his experience in the afterlife. But there really wasn't.
The thing that still... It was great that it was Keith Richards, I'm
not faulting the character or the actor, because I think for what they were given, they were great. They were just given trash. They
could have made these scenes 1,000 times better.
I don't know. I still say the fact that Keith Richards sat there and played a freaking lute and then twanged the damn fucking string and just shattered it was perfect. I mean, Keith Richards did an amazing job, even though his was a bit part. He did
Oh
an
yeah,
amazing.
it was great. It just there wasn't like a whole lot of reason why. Like he could have been not Captain Jack's dad, and that character could have still been really cool.
Agreed, but there's a reason they tied it in. They wanted it because remember, at the time we were not going to get number 4. Number 5 was supposed to be number 4. We were supposed to go into more stories about Jack's family as the next one. Whereas what they should have done is, actually made it about Jack's family, about Jack trying to become immortal again.
See, that's the thing. I agree. If they had gone into that story, if that's how they wanted to take that direction, I would have been fine with it. But it wasn't. It was just, hi, I'm your dad. Go be a fucking pirate. That was the beginning and the end of the fucking message there.
They tried. They did. I completely agree. But had you looked at like the original concept art of the next movies and shit, they were trying to set it up for the next movie, and then they just never did it. They never worked off of it.
Yeah.
What they did do was
changed.
make Blackbeard a bitch.
Yeah, let's fucking just pretend the next movie never happened.
Honestly, I would like to pretend 2, 3, and 4 didn't happen.
I wouldn't necessarily argue. I mean, I'd like to, but I wouldn't be heartbroken if it was gone.
You know what was super cool about 2? Was them fighting on the water wheel.
I love that scene.
That was great. I would say that's the second best part. The best part,
can you imagine?
It's gotta be the very beginning of 2 when that fucking crow lands on top of the floating coffin and is tapping on it and just gets fucking shot into oblivion.
That was cool.
Why with the animal cruelty today?
Why not?
Crows are dicks.
But for that water wheel scene, can you imagine the fucking choreography that went into it? It's my favorite sword fight scene in all of movies because it just looks so ridiculous and over the top.
No, I gotta say that the Princess Bride sword fight scene was the best one.
I don't remember that one. It's been forever since I've seen that movie.
I'm also a die-hard Princess Bride fan. Though,
I'm well aware. It's okay. We've all made bad choices.
Bad choices, my ass.
Inconceivable.
I hear you muttering to yourself, Aaron.
Throw me the rope. Hey, Andre the Giant is the shiz.
I know. I fucking
Andre the
love
Giant
Andre.
is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You kill my father. Prepare to die.
Should have watched that movie again. It was really good.
It was.
I don't remember a lot of specifics about it beyond just enjoying it.
That's like
my
saying
sick day movies are Knight's Tale and Princess Bride.
Dude,
oh God, Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale is fucking amazing.
I think it's literally been a decade since I've seen that movie. Holy shit.
I watched that movie like 2 weeks ago. Like, A Knight's Tale is one of my favorite movies, and
Oh, that movie. That is a really good movie.
The next time you see me, you'll be looking at me from the flat of your back.
I will flat out say, and anybody can fucking fight me on this, but I will say that is Heath Ledger's best movie.
I agree.
I mean, as great as he it may not be his best part, because I think him playing the Joker was absolutely perfect, but it was
Joker
his best
was good.
movie.
Batman was kind of
Overall,
boring.
That's the problem. The movie didn't complete it, whereas he did a damn good job being Will in A Knight's Tale, and the movie completed it.
Whoa. Hold up. Did you just say Dark Knight was boring?
Little bit, yeah.
Get the fuck out of my podcast.
It's not your podcast.
That is legitimately my favorite fucking superhero movie. From top to bottom, it builds suspense. That is the point of it. That's why it was such a slow, methodical feeling to it. It wasn't boring. It was methodical. It was deliberate. It was...
Sure.
And the Joker character is the epitome of it. This is planned chaos, and it works so fucking well. I loved that movie.
And the whole thing with getting him up to the point where he snaps with the good cop. That's great. I don't care about him scarred and flipping the coin. I was stupid as shit.
You merely adopted gaming. I was born in it.
That's the third
I
movie.
didn't see a wireless controller until I was already a man.
That was the third movie, and I'll agree, that one was pretty subpar. But Dark Knight
Fuck off.
with the Joker was fantastic.
See, I liked the third one. The only thing they didn't get right on the third one was Bane should have been a little guy who injected himself with freaking venom.
That's the Bane I like.
Exactly. Bane felt like such a misused opportunity there for the dude that can literally fucking Hulk up. You just pick a Goliath of a man in the first place. Why?
Think about it. Then they would have to explain how he's doing it. Because they did explain every single villain's thing. All of them. They went through the stories on all the villains. If they're going through all that, explaining that to people, because think about it. Batman, the Batman Dark Knight trilogy was built around this modern generation. A generation that grew up not reading the comics, not knowing shit about their comic book characters that they're going to see. And the average person isn't going to be able to tell the difference between old Bane and new Bane.
You can just fucking make up some story about steroids or something, though, or, fucking super suit. I don't fucking care, but the way Bane was done in the movie, outside of the voice thing, which I really liked, the way he was done in the movie was terrible.
I think his cruelty was perfect. His attitude was great.
It's okay.
Everything except for the fact that he doesn't bulk up.
It's okay. We've all been wrong before.
I mean, think about it like this. Look at like Batman and Robin. That Bane was garbage.
True.
He was a musclehead who had no intelligence. Bane was a fucking intelligent villain who became strong.
To be fair, though, everything in Batman and Robin was pretty garbage.
Dude, I don't care. I want the Bat credit card. Never leave the cave without it, motherfucker.
Do the animated superhero movies count in the debate towards the best superhero movie?
Sure.
No.
I haven't seen most of them.
No, because animated movies are their own damn thing.
Okay.
You can go with an animated movie, whereas you can't without, like, when it comes to having to use real live actors, you can't always do what the superhero does.
That's true.
And you have to find workarounds. Yes, there's CGI, and people are like, oh, they should use more CGI. Well, when they finally used more CGI, everybody backlashed. Like, think about it. One of the most used CGI movies was Green Lantern, and that's hailed as, like, the worst superhero movie of all time.
To be fair, it was a pretty awful fucking movie. It's got little to do with the bad CGI, which, to be fair, was pretty bad. The character arc, the story in it was just a bad movie for a guy that could literally create fucking everything.
Don't make the super suit green or animated.
It wasn't utilized.
I mean, I still say, best superhero movie, Deadpool 1, straight off.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be wrong there. For live action movies, I think Deadpool is probably up there. It is fantastic.
I'm not a giant fan of Deadpool 2.
I really enjoyed Black Panther.
I enjoyed Deadpool 2. I just don't think it wasn't nearly the same caliber as the first one, though.
I think the fucking kid ruined it. I mean, I just couldn't stand him. Robot,
Aaron, you're dying. Aaron, we can't hear you.
Shut up. Do not spoil that movie, or I will find you and I will kill you.
Okay, I won't say anything, but I think it's a good movie. I still enjoyed it, but there are mixed opinions on it.
I know how to sign myself out of this podcast. I thought Suicide Squad was okay to watch. I'd not watch it really again unless there was like a really big gap between them. But it wasn't the worst movie ever made.
I haven't seen Suicide Squad yet. I have no opinion on it.
Suicide Squad. I've seen it, and
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I will say the only problem I have with Suicide Squad is, yes, it's the Suicide Squad, but they're taking characters from different periods in time.
What is?
Yeah, that would be.
I mean, that's what they do anyways. Like the Avengers, it wasn't the original group in that one either. It's just what you have to do to make a cinematic movie that can sell to an audience. You have to make certain decisions.
Yeah, but if you've got like people pairing up,
it is the actual members of the Suicide Squad. They are. The problem is you've got like let's see here, the Batman Dark Detective version of Harley Quinn with, circa 1950 crazy psycho motherfucker Joker. That doesn't work because those two would not be, their attitudes don't, I mean, they worked well in the movie because the two actors worked well. I'm sorry, Jared Leto did a great job as the Joker. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Isn't he only in the movie for like 3 minutes though?
Yeah.
No, it's about 10.
Aaron, fix your shit. You're dying again. You're dying again.
The problem with Suicide Squad is the pacing of the movie. Because by the end of it, you sit there and you're like, is this it? Is this the whole movie?
I will agree. I mean,
awkward silence.
I don't know. I think Deadpool is definitely the best, and I dare say followed up with Iron Man.
Iron Man's pretty good. I definitely put it up there.
The first Iron Man.
I liked Tom Holland's Spider-Man. That was an amazing movie.
I haven't seen Homecoming yet. I own the movie.
The best Spider-Man.
I own the movie. I haven't seen it yet.
I would say my third pick. 1960s Batman. Adam West.
Adam West.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen any of those. Batman's really not my thing, though. I'm not a big Batman or Superman.
Batman was silly back then.
Yeah, it wasn't until pretty much like the animated show in the 90s that he really got his edge.
When it became serious.
Because, I mean, look at Batman's fucking villains. The Penguin. Who the fuck can take that seriously?
Definitely not the people that put him in
the fucking Riddler. Like this isn't the high crop of villains to work with.
The Riddler's cool though.
They're not always villains. That's the thing. They're psychopaths.
That's why I like the theory that Batman's just in. Yep, that one's such a great theory.
It makes sense, like the fact that the Joker is a doctor and Harley Quinn is another doctor, a nurse.
And that like the other people in there are the villains. That would explain the Riddler and Penguin is people that are off their shit.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, if you think about his tragic experience, I don't know many kids that could watch their parents get murdered in an alleyway and be okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty dark backstory.
I just thought of the little girl again.
God damn it. Okay.
Do not go into it.
Okay. No. On that note, we're an hour in, so we're gonna take a quick break here. Hold on to. When we come back, we will have other topics such as diseases and advertisements and videos. Fun.
Fuck advertisements.
Now a word from our sponsor. Welcome back to Disorderly Conduct. We're joined by our fourth host, who has come back from bumfucked Egypt. MadBull, say hello.
Bumfuck Egypt and then some. Yo, what up, dude?
So, you might have noticed in the ad break, we don't actually have a sponsor to give us an ad. But if you know somebody, please, I will sell out to anything. You want me to sell fucking, male to female transformation pills? I will do it. Just, hit me up.
He's a corporate shill.
We have Mr. Fister.
I will shill anything in the world. If you want to advertise on this podcast, send me a message.
My foot up Brian's ass. There we go.
If the money is there, I do not care. I will do anything you want me to.
Brian, you do got to remember, you're gonna have to split the money for it.
Just exactly. I'm just saying the offer's on the table. They don't have to be involved. I'll still split the money with them. I'll still get a cut of it, but I will do anything.
He will literally get on his knees and suck your dick.
That cock.
He'll get on his knees as you pull down your pants, and that's as far as that's gonna go because you can get the rest of that.
No. We're gonna go further. No, bull. Continue.
He will slob on your knob.
No. Bull, continue. No, continue, Bull. Finish your statement. This is M-rated. I want you to carry this thought. I want you to play this mental image out in your head. What happens after?
See it in your soul.
I have an idea. I know exactly who should sponsor us because we are M-rated and we're fucked up like this. Pornhub.
God damn it.
Yes, get Pornhub.com, please. If you're listening,
please sponsor us. Give us, lifetime membership. Let us feature videos, man.
Yeah, right.
And then just for Death, we'll get him a Bad Dragon sponsorship.
Oh shit.
No, get that for me. Your boy MadBull. It seems more believable.
I'm just saying.
I thought we were gonna get you a sponsorship to, Kitty Town or some shit.
All I'm saying, I will whore out. I don't care.
We know you will. You will slob on the knob, my brother.
So should we do an actual topic now?
Maybe.
Yeah, let's talk about like ghetto foods and shit.
Let's not do that.
I literally just made dinner. Okay?
What about the Ultra Boss's idea?
What about them?
Like Ultra Bosses that we thought we were way ready for, but we were nowhere near prepared. Like Ruby Weapon from Final Fantasy VII. Oh, I got this, and 2 of my characters gone. I'm fucked.
Was Ruby the one in the desert?
Yes.
Because I didn't find him all that challenging, if I'm being honest with you.
Wait, isn't there a character in Final Fantasy that if you hit him, he basically just kills everything? The more you hit him or something.
You're thinking of a glitch, and there was 2 characters that could do it, and it was only on Emerald Weapon, the one under the water, that you could do it on.
There's a couple though when Final Fantasy. No, he's talking about like characters programmed that.
An actual enemy.
There's a couple. There's an enemy in the Tonberry, to where the game keeps track of how many creatures you've killed throughout your entire playthrough, and the Tonberry deals damage equal to every single kill.
That's what it was.
And they're normally endgame creatures, so unless you've played a pacifist run, by the time you encounter these fuckers, they're hitting basically fucking 10Ks and knocking out a max party.
Well, but here's the thing. They're easily stopped. All you need, for Final Fantasy VII, for example, all you need is somebody who can cast Toad on your party.
Yeah, I mean,
Mini on your party.
There are ways around it. Because his accuracy isn't particularly fantastic.
No, his is a 100% accuracy. All you need to do is have Mini or Toad or anything that makes your character smaller, and then he completely misses. He has no chance to hit.
But I don't quite know what this section is about.
We're talking about super creatures in video games, obnoxious shit that's hard to defeat, or like ultra bosses or something that's
Borderlands 2.
Sephiroth and Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh my god, fuck that fight.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry. I hate to admit this because like most people are like, oh bullshit. I beat him on my first try, but barely.
That dude.
Like at the end of it, my controller hurt my fingers.
I mean, as a final boss, by the time you get to him, you've probably fought the other secret boss in that game. So you're used to fucking dodging and rolling for fucking hours on end in the first place. But Jesus Christ, is that an obnoxious fight?
The worst part is the fucking flames that just drop you to one hit.
Usually, yeah. I mean,
that was the worst one.
I mean, you can literally come across him as a max character. You can have a fucking level 99 Sora and still get your ass kicked.
With max strength, all the other ground shit, and he could still kick your ass. It's definitely leveled towards your favor at that point, but there are enough bullshitty things.
It's like there's enough shit to go around here. Let's spread it.
Speaking of speedruns, there's a level 1 critical mode speedrun at AGDQ a couple years back, and one of the bonus incentives was to fight Sephiroth on it.
Oh god.
That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen, because you have to do the entire fight without getting hit once.
No, you want to know ultra bosses? I'm gonna take a page from Skyrim and just say Karstag.
Karstag isn't even an ultra boss. You can one-shot him.
I mean, Skyrim doesn't count because the game is so easily manipulated to be overpowered.
It's so easily manipulated. But like, if you do like what I was planning to do.
I mean, yeah, if you do a casual playthrough, if it's not something you're expecting to stumble across, if you by some miracle accidentally stumble into this unmarked quest that takes half an hour, he will kick your ass. Don't get me wrong, Karstag's not an easy fight, but
the first time I fought Karstag, and I didn't even realize what I was doing, but I had already leveled up my character, so it was a stealth archer. So all I did was crouch, which put me back in stealth for a second, got a critical shot on him, and he instantly fell over, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because
archery is so broken.
He's late game in the first place, so by the time you've got to him, by the time you've discovered him or completed the unmarked quest line to get to him, you already have broken shit by that point, or you've figured out a broken combo. Because there's a lot of broken combos in that game.
You probably got bored, fucked with alchemy, and now you've got the Brawler's Gloves that do one hit on Parthenax.
Exactly. There's more than one ways to break that game. By the time you normally get to Karnax, he's a pushover. Everything in that game becomes that point because it's just so easily manipulated.
So if that's the case, Bethesda, if you're listening, I think we found our next sponsored stream.
Yeah,
I love Bethesda. Bethesda is great.
For real though, I would do that in a heartbeat because Bethesda makes some great games. Dude.
I would legitimately have we could literally have an entire stream just based on Bethesda.
As much shit as I just gave their game, I still have like 300 hours in Skyrim. Like, it's really fucking good.
I have like 300 hours on a character in Skyrim.
I was gonna say, on the 360, that's one character for me, and that was my my first playthrough.
Yeah, it's just a really good fucking game. For as much shit as you get it, even without mods, there's still so much there.
I'm sorry though. Please, Bethesda, please, for the love of God, give us something else. I don't want Skyrim again. I've had enough.
Stop making online games.
Coming soon for your T87 calculator. Skyrim Pocket Edition.
Oh god.
Dude, that's what we do with Diablo.
No.
Yeah, let's not even. That was just. Oh man.
No, you know what's nice about
Come on, Blizzard. What were you thinking?
You mean this PC franchise that has been renowned for decades? Let's get a shitty Chinese clone and throw it on your phones.
Right.
Yeah, no shit. I'm sorry. Like Diablo.
I mean, seriously. Do you guys even have phones?
I do, but I fucking don't touch it at all.
I'm sorry.
No, there was a conference when they announced and they did a Q&A, and a couple of the questions like, "What the hell is this? Did you think we would enjoy this game?" Or it's like, "Is there going to be a PC port? Is this a late April Fool's Day joke?" Like, people were fucking pissed.
Yeah, like he said, is this like an off-season April Fool's Day joke? And then when they said no, they got fucking booed.
I mean,
I was literally watching it through my phone because I bought the damn BlizzCon ticket, the virtual ticket.
Yeah.
And I was literally screaming boo at my phone.
Because
I had people at work looking at me weird.
If you're not familiar with it, if you're not familiar with the situation, you know Diablo, right? Fucking dungeon crawling, hack and slash looting game. Been around for literally 20 years.
If you don't know Diablo, you need to die.
Literally 20 years at this point. And in the lead up to BlizzCon, they announced that there would be a Diablo announcement of some sort. Either there's something big for Diablo coming, so people were talking,
Diablo 3
is this Diablo 4, or is this like an HD remake of Diablo 1 or 2 or something massive like that? And they get to the event,
literally anything,
and it's Diablo Immortal, which is a clone of a Chinese game, reskinned with Diablo textures.
Not only that, they brought out this huge fucking basilisk and everything that made you all hyped and shit, and then said it's a phone game.
It's not just a phone game, it's a terrible phone game. It's not even designed to be a Diablo game. It was some
It was some wise on a computer. I don't want to touch that with a phone.
Exactly the problem. This is not a game concept that translates well to touchscreen. And when they announced it, again, it wasn't even properly a Diablo game. It was some Chinese port that they stuck a Diablo logo onto. And they wondered why the PC players freaked the fuck out, because it's a fucking piece of shit. Your PC audience for your PC game are not want to play a fucking Chinese port of some trash.
Here's the thing, though. I do believe they could make a actual mobile Diablo game, and they could do it well. Because if you look at Diablo 3, they just brought it to the fucking Switch. You could literally port Diablo 3 to the phone. It wouldn't be that difficult. And
I mean, controls would be very funny.
To be fair, there are ways you can do that. There's been complex and like really deep systems done to phone games. For fuck's sake, RuneScape 3 has a mobile app. It's not great, but it exists. I'm not saying it's not possible to have Diablo on a phone, but they went literally the worst fucking way to do it. The literal worst way to do a Diablo phone port.
I agree. And can we just say, like, fucking super excited for Warcraft 3 Remastered?
I haven't played any of the Warcraft games, so I can't say anything.
Neither have I.
I actually watched the game movies of them, and they're really fucking good.
To be fair, Blizzard's fucking movie team is like second to none. They could literally be
a game movie is when someone splices a story together, but Blizzard cinematics are next tier.
Like legitimately, Blizzard could be an animated movie studio with some of the shit that they pump out. Like their Overwatch shorts, those little 10-minute things for the characters, are amazing.
Warcraft, or just the Warcraft ones.
It's like
if they made a Diablo movie, I'd watch it. That'd be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like the old SFM
here's the
thing
thing
that everybody used to make. You know, really top tier stuff that people sunk hours and hours into animating.
Oh, those fucking old AMVs and FMVs. Used to love watching. I killed so much fucking time in high school watching that shit.
Here's the thing.
A bunch of anime fucking music videos to Linkin Park, because it's always fucking Linkin Park. It was always known.
Here's the thing, though. I think Blizzard would do well if they did a Diablo movie. The time period they need to do it is the Sin War, the angels and the devil and the demons fighting. That's when they need to have the whole fucking movie set.
Yeah. 3's story was a little boring. It was fun to play, but I really didn't care about the story in 3 at all.
The story in 3's okay, but I mean, the thing about 3 that was really good was the extra lore and shit they threw into it. Everything that brought you back full circle.
Once they, removed the auction house and other shit.
I love Diablo 2.
I mean, I've
the auction house left pretty quickly.
I mean, guys,
the auction house left way too soon. I was making too much money from it.
Money that you couldn't use.
No, as in real freaking money. I was selling for real money. I wasn't selling for in gold.
Shut up.
Bruh.
Bull, what were you saying?
The only Diablo I've ever played is Diablo 3, but I've heard some of the horror stories of every game that Blizzard has made, so it's just like, shit. You know, so I don't have much of a say in this.
See,
actually,
3
Diablo 2
2 is regarded as the best in the franchise, but 3, after they've spent, what is it, like 3 or 4 years not patching it, is a really good game at this point. If you're into that style of, dungeon crawling, loot grinding sort of thing, it's not a bad game. Brian,
it's been 6 years.
Has it really?
Yeah. It came out in 2012.
Fuck me, dude. But still, that just makes the point better. After 6 years of patching, it's a decent game now. But
look at like the Division, dude.
How was it on launch?
At launch, it was terrible. I mean, you've probably heard the fucking fan backrage to fucking Diablo 3 at launch. It was not pretty.
The game was very, very rough at launch. It was still a good game. It didn't feel like Diablo. It still doesn't feel like Diablo 2 at all. Like, I hate saying this because, I mean, it's like the general consensus, but Path of Exile is a better Diablo 3 than Diablo 3.
You're not wrong.
That's what I hear. People, like, it's not a genre I play a lot of, so I don't have a lot of intimate knowledge. But a lot of friends who do play it.
I've played and I've enjoyed Path of Exile, but it's like... I've played Diablo 3 on the Xbox 360 for a bit, because again, I'm the poor man out of this entire thing.
That is your problem.
Diablo 3 on the 360 was garbage. Reaper of Souls on the 360 was better, but PC's still the way to go.
You're still playing a Diablo game on a PC. That is not at all.
Dude,
I'm gonna be the one to make the argument here. I hate to say it, but Diablo 3 is better on console. Only because Diablo 3 feels like a couch co-op game.
It would definitely be cool with like a group of people in one room playing on the one screen.
That's what you need. That's why it's better implemented as a couch co-op game. Or, 2 people on one screen, 2 on another. That kind of situation.
Like when I played it for like 15, 20 minutes, granted, that's what I was getting at. And I was like, I really don't mind it, but I don't like it at the same time. It's just that weird kind of in-between space for me. Like, I didn't know what to think of it. And then I started playing Path of Exiles on the Xbox One. I'm like, okay, you know what? This feels like Diablo 3, only better.
Okay, so you definitely messed up. Path of Exile needs to be played on PC.
Well, I'm a broke-ass motherfucker, so fuck you.
Well, your second dick gets good money.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic money. Everybody should give it a try.
I was gonna say, Brian, are you talking from experience?
Yeah, he is talking from experience. But as I was saying,
we don't need to go into my personal details. Just know that it's fantastic money. Okay.
Oh my god.
Having played all the Diablos, having played Path of Exile, having played numerous loot games, because those are the primary genre I enjoy. I will say Path of Exile is a better Diablo 3, but moving them to console, Diablo 3 is better played on console than Path of Exile is.
One thing that I didn't like with Diablo 3 is I was a big fan of the Necromancer in Diablo 2.
Dude,
and $15 to get it was just way too steep for me. But I'd already previously sunk like $135 into the game getting it.
Dude, if you played it on Xbox One, we got that like 2 years ago, that DLC.
No, you did not. I've had the games, trust me. I've had Diablo 3 on every single console.
We
did not have the Necromancer. The Necromancer came out on the same day for everybody.
Again,
it came out last year, and it was It was last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it was not last year. It was the year before. Sorry, got my date mixed up. It was the year before.
Thinking of the Crusader.
He's thinking of the Crusader, and no, you did not. Months before, You had it the same day. When the expansion came out, it came out all at the same time for everybody. When the Necromancer came out, it came out at the same time for everybody. And I will say the Necromancer plays like a Necromancer should. It doesn't feel like everybody kept saying, oh, I don't want to pay $15 for the Necromancer because it's going to be like playing, the Witch Doctor. Fuck no, it's like playing a Necromancer in Diablo 2, only better.
I just didn't think that bit of DLC was worth $15. Because it really didn't come with a whole lot besides the one character.
Here's the thing.
That's why I didn't get it, but I would have loved it.
Bro, here's my opinion on DLC. Okay?
Yes.
I'm gonna walk over Brian saying this, but at the same time, if your game is $20 and has more content per DLC for like $5, aka Payday 2, the way they've done it.
Payday's a horrible example.
Until the Ultimate Edition, Payday was legitimately a terrible example because their DLC was very, very piecemeal. $5, you got one mission. That is not a good deal.
But for $20, you get more content-based game than what the DLCs are given nowadays. So again,
Fallout 4's DLC was great. I would say that's the example to use.
Bro,
okay,
you want to talk about great DLC? Forza 7 recently got the Hot Wheels car pack that we've had Horizon 4. So
how did we know it was going to be Forza or some sort of racing game? It's always a racing game.
I legit yesterday built a Bone Shaker Hot Wheels car in Forza that does front flips when you get airtime. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, here's the thing though. We can't really bring Bethesda into it because Bethesda's done some bad shit.
Oblivion.
Horse armor. Do we really need to go there for bad DLC?
You can't use Horse Armor as an example because Horse Armor was the very first DLC ever.
It was still a bad idea.
Call of Duty does DLC
because
terribly.
You're right. It was the first like online sort of DLC, but expansion passes and shit like that had existed before, where you just buy another fucking disc or whatever, and they fucking come out with horse armor. Who the fuck thought that would be a good use of money?
Well,
you charge $5 for it, no less.
Like, legitimately, fucking, I remember, like, Halo 2 fucking map packs. You buy an extra disc for $10 or something. And they thought fucking horse armor was a good idea.
For $5. It didn't even add armor to the horse. It literally only gave you a skin of the armor. It was cosmetic.
Such a bad idea.
That was all bad.
If you've got a fully complete game, and then your DLC is just more stuff added onto it, I'm cool with that. I'll pay the extra amount.
The best DLC I've ever seen in a franchise is Witcher.
Witcher DLCs aren't terrible, although
Witcher 3,
there was one in 3 that was kind of boring.
Witcher 3, because all of the small DLC, all the like skin and weapon updates were free. The only paid ones were the expansions. Heart of Stone, fucking Blood and Wine. Like, Blood and Wine in particular could have been an entire fucking spin-off game. The thing was massive. For a DLC, you still got like 30 fucking hours out of it.
I feel like Spider-Man's... I love the new Marvel Spider-Man game. It just feels like their DLC was ripped from the main game.
Didn't they announce fucking DLC like the day before launch?
Before it came out,
like the day before launch, Black Widow DLC is coming.
Yeah.
Can we just say, the company that's worst for that?
Activision.
Bungie.
Oh,
Bungie. No.
Let's just talk about
here's all the mechanics to the game. We'll add the story 12 months later.
No, that's Final Fantasy 15.
Rip.
God,
I didn't mind Final Fantasy 15.
I didn't mind it, but the story took a year to fix, which was frustrating because I'm a fucking massive Final Fantasy nerd. I've got shit hanging up on my walls with logos and characters on it, and it's just such a depressing fucking way that it turned out. And recently, actually, while we're talking about it, real quick, dude, sorry. For Final Fantasy 15, they canceled the rest of their character DLCs. The fucking head of the game quit.
Oh, shit.
So it's gonna end with Ard. You're not gonna get the Arana. You're not gonna get the Noctis character packs. And there was something else I forgot.
Brian, if you are a true Final Fantasy fan, a big Final Fantasy nerd as you claim to be, in Final Fantasy IV,
oh, shut the fuck up!
What two characters get turned to stone to save your main party?
What the fuck are their names? Palm and Porum?
Yeah, hey, you actually got that one.
In the GBA version, there's a way to revive them.
Yeah, they come back at the end of the game anyway.
No, like there's a way to like properly, completely restore them. It's fucking stupid. It's one of those ones where for the GBA they added like an extra dungeon at the end with a whole bunch of other obnoxious and broken shit in it.
Sounds about right. You want to talk about?
If you've never played 4 before, it's a really good game. You should play it.
Bruh, you want to talk about broken? Just play Just Cause 2, 3, or 4.
You want to talk about broken? Let's play Oregon Trail, buddy.
Oh god.
All die of dysentery.
We can't play it because I've died.
You have dysentery.
The wagon wheel broke, and because of that, I got dysentery.
Yep.
I
went to the river and I caught dysentery.
I don't know how, but
my favorite Final Fantasy was 12 on the PS2. It was great.
That
Get
was
the fuck out.
That was a long one, and the story was definitely more grounded than the other games. But I still really enjoyed 12.
Wasn't that the one where that guy had like that really forced kind of sounding laugh? Like
no, that was 10.
Sorry, that was 10.
Was that 10?
That was 10,
no,
and that was
10
intent. That laugh was intentional. It was meant to be awful and awkward.
It was just like
12, literally 12 was there's one character in 12 that did everything for everybody, and that was Fran the Playboy Bunny.
She did.
I used Penelope as my did everything.
Well, no, the reason I say Fran is, every 12-year-old boy at the time spanked it to Fran.
Oh, yeah. Fran was great for completely invalid reasons.
As far as fan service characters in Final Fantasy, and there are a lot of fan service characters in Final Fantasy, Fran's up there.
Fran's the best.
Fran is the top number one, other than maybe what's her name from 10.
See, that was my thought. I was like, nah, Lulu exists.
Lulu?
Yeah, Lulu.
See, and I figured everybody would be all up on Tifa, but Tifa's boring.
And
Tifa has triangle tits, so
for personal reasons, I like Lightning.
Lightning's cool.
Final Fantasy 7.
Lightning is
a little bit better.
No,
I mean, they're both the exact same fucking character, practically.
If you want to talk about games
Design-wise.
that completely confused the fuck, it was 13 to 13-2. I don't understand how those fit together. And
They don't. It's separate games.
I like them.
They don't. They had to retcon the story. They had to retcon the story to make it fit because the original plan for 13 wasn't a trilogy.
It's I can describe it.
The original
It's
plan for
almost
13
like-
was that it was going to sell better than Final Fantasy VII, so they could remake Final Fantasy VII, and it didn't. So then they decided, well, you know what? We'll do 13-2, and then we'll do 13 Lightning Returns, and then we'll all just count that as one game, and hey, it sold better than Final Fantasy VII, now we can remake it.
I mean, to be fair,
That was literally the explanation.
to be fair, 13 still sold a lot. Like, people will give it a lot of shit. They made bank off of that game.
13 was
Ignoring the sequels, they still made a lot of money out of 13.
I was gonna say,
But
it's
here's
almost
the thing.
It's almost like Hideo Kojima got his hands on it.
The reason they did that, though, I mean, basically 13-2, 13-3, Lightning Returns and all that shit, was just so they could make Final Fantasy VII again.
They really, particularly the second one, really feels like middle content. He's like, we need to fill time. 15 keeps getting stalled and fucked off for whatever reason. We need something to fill this middle ground, so they expanded 13. That's what it feels like, anyways.
But here's the thing, like I said, They kept trying. Oh, the original 14 was garbage.
14 was an MMO. It came out very close to 13. The problem is it was a piece of shit. There is a no-clip documentary on it. I highly recommend you go watch it on YouTube. It's a multi-part series, but it's like, I don't know, like an hour. If you're really interested in it, because it's a fascinating story. 14 was a flop. Straight up. Because
I can tell you, straight up, from personal experience, 14 was the worst thing I had ever played. I grinded out a character to max just so I could say I'd beat it. And then when they came out with A Realm Reborn, I was like, oh, this should be some shit.
They literally, to the point where the dev team felt so ashamed, they stopped charging for it. The final months of the original thing were free to players, so they could rebuild it and relaunch it with Realm Reborn. And 14's still going. And if you look at, like, you know, ratings of MMOs, it's like, it's up there. It's World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, and Elder Scrolls Online. Like, these are all still really popular MMOs.
World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, ESO, and then Final Fantasy. Because you have to think about it. If you're trying to compare it with World of Warcraft, you cannot include the consoles. Without the consoles, Final Fantasy 14 just does not cut it on the PC.
I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with that.
No.
I got frustrated with 14 because you had to buy it and then a monthly subscription, and I wasn't.
That's all MMOs though. That's the same thing with ESO.
So
here's the other thing that really
and
sucks
Black Desert. Now that's coming to fucking console.
Black Desert is fucking amazing. But,
it's a gorgeous looking game. It just looks way too. It's a Korean MMO, so it's grindy as fuck, and I don't want to put myself through that shit.
I just started it. I like it.
You want a grindy MMO? You want to play Arcade. Arcade is fucking amazing.
Bruh, Terra is a Korean MMO, and that shit's grindy as fuck.
Terra isn't even that grindy, dude.
We've played Terra. Terra from. The cap on Terra is like level 70. From 0 to 60, you can get done in like 2 weeks. From 60 to 65 will take you 100 hours.
Actually.
Brian, I leveled up a character from 1 to 70 in 2 days.
Because you know what you're doing. I'm going from a casual player's perspective.
I mean, to be fair though, what is it, like level 1 to 60 is all story driven anyways, and then...
Yeah, it's not until 60 that you unlock all the like late game raids and shit.
Exactly.
You don't even unlock that until 70. You unlock high-end dungeons, but you don't unlock the real in-game content till 70, like every other MMO. And I can tell you from experience, gearing up is not as bad as everybody says it is. It's really fast. If you've got a good group and you know what you're doing, you can just plow right through Terra like it's nothing. When it came out to console, I was, 49 hours into it, and I already had a level 70 and was working my way through the extra shit.
Because
I was upset that I couldn't have my gunner.
Again, because you know what you're doing. You had the benefit of, 100 hours, 200 hours, whatever it was on the PC version. Going at it from a casual player's perspective, there's a lot to pick up on that game.
Oh, definitely.
But that game is also very intuitive.
I mean, it's not nearly as complicated as other MMOs because it's a genre that's really fucking complicated in the first place. A lot of things to learn, a lot of things to manage, cooldowns, optimal setups. There's a lot of shit to go through.
Warcraft. Wait, what?
Warcraft isn't nearly as complicated as people think from the outside.
No,
World of Warcraft is probably the easiest MMO to pick up and just play.
Because if there's two roles in particular. If you don't know what you're doing, you can either be a healer or a tank. You either hit stuff or you heal stuff. It's everything else that's complicated. No. You need 17 fucking action bars to figure out. But
no. You are a complete fucking idiot.
You have to probably roll your own cigarettes. I gotta be out of here before 30.
Here's the thing, guys. With World of Warcraft, you are not a healer if you do not know what you're doing. You're just straight up not, because Brian's a fucking idiot. You are either a DPS, which that's most classes, or you're a tank. And we don't recommend tanking, because if you're a bad tank, guess what? You're never getting to tank again. So it limits you down to your DPS. Do as much damage as you can. You're just another person.
I mean, wasn't there that one guy that proved that, like, what was it, barbarians were overpowered as fuck or something?
Warriors were overpowered. Everybody thought they were underpowered. He was playing it differently.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't that they were overpowered. They got fucking nerfed because of the way he played it. But that's besides the point. That was way back when. I've been a rogue.
Yeah.
I've always found it interesting where devs will like have a massive backlash to something like that. Because there's one strategy to where like a select group of players break the fuck out of it, but no one else can figure it the fuck out. Hearthstone was notorious for that shit.
Like, if no one else can figure out a strategy, oh well, let's just nerf this guy so that strategy is just
like
completely useless.
Like Quest Rogue in particular was like on ladder, its win rate was like 30%, but pros in tournaments would win every fucking time because it's so goddamn skill intensive. So they fucking nerfed the shit out of it.
So, like, towards the end of Cataclysm on World of Warcraft, I've always played a rogue. Rogues are usually the class that gets beat with the nerf stick the most because if you're a good rogue, you have to learn to adapt to it. So, during that time in Cataclysm, nobody would play Subjugation. Subjugation is my favorite subtype of rogue. That's your actual stealthy rogue. You know, I one-shot you, I come out of the shadows, and you're fucking dead. I'm the assassin.
That's the thing with a lot of class games is they don't know how to balance around the crit factor. Because if you leave something like that in there where there's multipliers, where there's crits on top of it, where, you know, a player can one-shot your strongest fucking monster if they get behind them, a lot of games don't know how to balance around it, so they do what Blizzard was doing. Just start nerfing the shit out of it.
Well, they the rogue always gets fucking nerfed in WoW. Almost every time. We'll get small buffs during, you know, like when a new expansion comes out, the rogue is going to be the worst possible fucking choice because they just got beat to death with the nerf back. And then during the course of the expansion, we'll get a buff here, a small buff there, be beaten with the nerf stack, bad again, get a small buff here, and then, oh, look, we're coming out with a new expansion, beat them back to the fucking ground. Whereas, during the end of Cataclysm...
Aaron, how else are they going to sell you on buying another character slot if you don't buy the new race?
I ain't buying the new race, they know this. But that's besides
No, that's what they're doing. They're intentionally holding the other ones down so the new one looks shiny and attractive. I hate to be fucking cynical, but that's what these fucking companies do.
Brian, it's shiny and attractive and plays like shit.
It usually does. Usually the new class is the weakest.
Wasn't Demon Hunter broken as shit though?
Demon Hunter was broken as shit, and Death Knight were broken as shit. The rest of them that have come out, like all the races and all that shit, were garbage.
Because I remember when that came out, I was watching.
That's all I know about that game.
I was watching a streamer. I was watching Ninja, and not the big Ninja, but different Ninja.
Oh,
okay.
Nubs
knows. Maybe you were 9 years old.
No, Nubs knows what I'm talking
Demon
about.
Hunter.
But he would play Demon Hunter, and he was like the most broken thing in the world. No one else in the party could touch him.
Well, that's the thing. That's how I was with my rogue. I was a subjugation rogue, which was considered the weakest at the time. But I built myself in a specific way that, like, most people would get killed in one shot by my character because of the way I built him. I ran him with Fangs of the Father, which says you get 50% increased backstab damage. Not backstab the ability, backstab as in anywhere on that character's back that I hit you with any ability, I do 50% increased damage. I would go stealth, shadow step behind them, use preparation, premeditation, and then I would use ambush, slice and dice, they're dead, vanish, shadow step, ambush, and the next person's dead. And literally I'd kill 2 out of, so we'd do 3v3 arena. I'd kill 2 people before they could do anything. That leaves 1 person for my teammates to kill while I back off and get out of range so I can go stealth again. And if I did get stealth again, that 3rd person's dead.
Hot damn.
Oh, literally, I came at almost the very top rankings of our arena.
I've always
our
found
battlegrounds.
I've always found watching Warcraft PvP or just any MMO, just watching the high level PvP stuff, I found it fascinating. Because I can't fucking follow it. Like, they have, like, World of Warcraft, they have, like, competitive esports for some of their game modes. It's like, what the fuck is happening here? So many goddamn cooldowns and abilities and triggers and shit. It's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm watching.
I agree with Aaron when I think I'm with Aaron on this one, or Aaron's with me on this one. It's because you're not smart enough to do that shit. You're just an idiot.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, no, I wouldn't say that. I really wouldn't, because I've seen him play games. He can't keep up with it. I'm not saying that to be like negative or anything on him. He literally cannot keep up with it because his brain doesn't function like that.
Mine doesn't either. Mine is more towards, go fast, hit the gas and the brakes, steer
that's the thing. He's right, because I get very focused and very tunnel vision. I can't juggle a whole lot of different cooldowns and things like that. That's why I enjoy when I'm doing something more complicated. That it's like a card game or like Warcraft or not Warcraft, like Total War or something, where I can like pause the game and think shit out. Because in real time, my brain doesn't want to process all that information at once. It just doesn't go well.
Dude,
whereas
playing Forza, you don't really need that good of a vision. You just need to see far down the track as far as you can,
Exactly. You're focused on a very narrow one thing, and you can do that one thing very well. But when you add as many elements as is required for, like I said, for high-end like MMO content, fucking, it's just beyond me, just straight up.
You can ask Brian on this. That's how my brain thinks. I think high-end PvP. Like, when it comes to me playing a game, I set out with a goal in mind. My goal is usually be on the top page of like the high scores, or do the best this season, or get the highest numbers I can possibly get. And you can ask Brian, I won't stop until I hit that goal.
Bro, you should play For Honor then.
For real. It's one of those mindsets to where you just get absorbed into it, and that is literally the only fucking thing you care about for the next month and a half, and then never gonna fucking touch it again.
Well, I mean, you can ask, like I said, Brian, can you not attest to this? I will usually, when like say Diablo 3 rolls around, like a new season on Diablo 3, I will fight my way all the way up to the damn top of the leaderboard just to take a screenshot, and then I'll be done.
Yep.
I think my internet on my phone, or my internet in general, is giving me shit.
Water is wet and the sky is blue.
So,
Yeah.
Water
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were stating obvious things.
the fucking shame.
But
I can't wait till we can go into like Log Horizon related RPGs. I can't wait for that. The clicking and the button pushing gets boring. I would like to swing a sword if I'm gonna RPG.
They are getting there. If you haven't played ESO, Elder Scrolls Online, like, it's not, I mean, it's still got abilities and cooldowns and a whole bunch of balance in it.
New to console.
But shit's gotten really fucking close to being, damn near seamless.
it's garbage.
I mean,
No one asked your opinion, Aaron.
Is garbage.
I was gonna say,
I just don't feel immersed when I'm hitting 1 to do my super ability or whatever.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel as exciting.
I don't like the over-reliance on abilities and cooldowns in modern MMOs. And it's mostly because WoW was so ridiculously popular still. Like, it pretty much... It wasn't the innovator for any of those systems. Like, that shit's existed in other MMOs before. But
way before.
It's so goddamn popular, everybody's copying it. That's the same reason every game has a fucking Battle Royale mode now, because it's the popular thing to do.
I like Battle Royale, but we need to stop. We need to slow down on that and make something decent with it.
It was burned out like 4 months ago.
Like, here's the thing.
Clearly not. The shit is still fucking going strong, dude.
A counterpoint to yours, Brian. WoW came out. Look at the time period WoW came out in. 2004. Come on, man. I was playing the alpha. Back when we were in
I have no problem with the way RPGs are. It feels more immersive when, like, I'm hitting X to swing this way, and I can combo.
I would just like more
instead of just 1, 2, 5, then 3.
Yeah, see, that's my thing. I would prefer there be more variety in the space. That's why
have you played Terra?
That's why I went to RuneScape back in the day, because it was so fucking different from, other MMOs.
RuneScape was... I'm not even gonna... No. Have you played Terra?
RuneScape has its thing.
Come on.
It's
got its thing.
No, I guess.
I know you've played Terra. I'm talking to everybody else. Everybody else in here. Have you played Terra?
I think I tried it once when it was, like, still beta-y, but I've not played it recently.
I got to level 30 on Xbox One, and I'm like, okay, this is either way too quick or way too fast, and I can't decide. Because I've got all the story over here, I've got all these quests over here.
For Terra, the early part of the game really does fucking railroad you through that shit.
It railroads you, and it railroads you very fast. Then it just peters off.
It's one of those games where the story feels like it was tacked on after the fact. We just want characters to grind up to these levels so you can do the content. It really feels like it, because a lot of the story missions even are still fucking fetch quests. Like, they're not good missions.
Dude, on top of that, I even had a buddy of mine, he was power leveling me at the same time.
Well, see, that's your problem.
So it's like, what the fuck?
RPGs are really boring if you're going in there with somebody that has a high-level character to power level
I'm not
you.
really into MMOs as much as I used to be.
But here's the thing, though. That disassociation between pressing 1 and using that ability, with Terra, it does not feel like that.
No, it doesn't, because Terra's got the combat system. The combat system in Terra, it's fluid. You feel like you're playing a third-person action game. You don't feel like you're playing an MMO until, like I said, late game, you start to manage all your abilities. But before that, it feels like a fluid combat system. It feels like
it's an active combat system. It's not a tab target. I hit 1, they hit me, I hit them, I hit 3.
Yeah, you hit the attack button, it swings the sword and it hits them. It's not, balancing a whole bunch of shit around it. At least not initially.
To fucking connect.
Yeah, you have to actually hit them. Like, there's positioning, and you move your character to try and find weak spots and shit. Like, there's actual.
Dodge. Actually, fucking dodge.
That's like, when it starts to get really fun, and that's why, like, I didn't want to go to popular MMOs because they're not. They're going to be.
What about Neverwinter?
I tried Neverwinter.
It's fun, but
I tried it with a bad group of people, where one of my friends is I get bored with this character fast. Wait until I catch up with my new character, or come start over with me, and I was tired of the same 5 quests.
That's a cancerous sort of guy, and I would never play with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I am that kind of guy, to be fair.
I can be that guy, but at the same time, I'm goal-oriented.
So
if I have my goal, I'm going to get that before I start a new character.
Yeah, if someone wants to start over, I'm not opposed to it, but
you grind
more than once and
before
that guy was like level 30.
Here's the thing, though. If I'm gonna do that with a friend, like if I decide, hey, I want to make another character, I'm not gonna make you wait for me.
Exactly.
I'm gonna continue to play the character that I've got with you, and when you're not playing, I'm gonna play my other character to catch it up as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Then I would just swap over.
That's the style I do, because I've gone in and I've been their tank when we start, just because I don't know the characters, and I'll work on the character that feels right for me later and jump that in there. But I will not expect you to start over and over and over.
I mean, I'm that kind of guy where I have to play it to see if it fits my playstyle.
I mean, early on though, it's not a huge deal. It's when you start trying to enforce
when
that
we're,
timeline
like,
onto other people, where you're making everyone else wait
halfway
because you
through
haven't
the
figured
game.
it out yet. 40 hours into the game, 40 hours into the goddamn game, you should know what class you enjoy. You should have figured this
Brian.
out in the first 3 or 4 hours, not hour 20.
And then there's me. I usually run 2 character slots anyway, so it's like, okay.
Yep.
Like on Neverwinter, there's only 2. I have my main, which is, I think, 2-handed.
You're a great weapons fighter.
Yeah, that's the main, and then the second is just to screw around and like say I want to play a warlock kind of character. I can do that. Okay.
I was gonna say my main's a trickster rogue, and my alt is I actually have a couple of character slots on Neverwinter. I've got a trickster rogue. I've got a great weapons fighter. I've got 2 warlocks and a priest. Well, cleric.
Oh, jeez.
I always play Phil because I'm the type of person that will fill as many slots as I can trying out stuff, and these will all be the same level. Whatever I need to do at late game, I will take that character.
I typically play the same roles every single time. I typically play supports.
I always start out with Archer, though.
I mean, to be fair, in Paladins, I started out very heavily in the support role, playing support characters. So.
I tend to favor DPS. I just like to be the guy in front swinging a sword.
Yeah, Brian's the DPS. Brian's like your off tank DPS. They're a tankier character, but they're built for DPS. Me, I'm the fucking rogue almost always. If I'm not the rogue, I'm the warlock.
Dude, Aaron, you sound like a buddy of mine. He would always do that shit. Like, he would always be that guy that, okay, you're gonna tank? Okay, I'll just go straight DPS then.
Yeah, well, I'm almost always DPS.
Yeah, rogue classes can't tank. That's the squishy class in the world.
Yeah, by the way, not to get off topic, but for a second, I posted an image in chat. It's a white kind of, like, van, and it says, "You're trying to kidnap me. What do you write on the truck?" My response
Free death blowjobs.
No. My response was free tacos, spelled with an E and a Z, all caps. When I saw that,
probably kittens. If you were giving away kittens, I would take them. Or electronics. If it was like free tablets or free smartphones, I'd take those.
No.
Free squash babies,
heels, bro. Free heels, bro.
Free Heelys. Yeah, there you go.
If the game allows it, my favorite class to go for is somebody that's just making their own army to sit back and do whatever else.
You're a fucking necromancer.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah, summoning classes were always really fun. Or that's sort of just make something else fight for you is always a fun thing to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I like the only one who just like, other than maybe Diablo, I don't like playing a summoner?
It's not my preferred class, but it's a very fun one to play around with.
Bruh.
Whenever we were going into things, even though I was not the support, I was the one making sure everybody else was doing their job. I can't really do that from the front slashing. So if I summon my army, I can watch and formulate the strategies and shit.
Log Horizon strategy shit.
Yeah.
See,
to be fair,
that's the thing, though.
If you play a summoner style kind of character, and you've got people up in the front tanking all the damage, and you're the only DPS, yeah, you can kind of play a dual support / I have an army role, so it kind of makes sense.
See, here's the thing, though. Usually, I'm like when I play in MMOs, I'm usually the raid leader in a guild, and I'm the fucking DPS.
Yeah.
And normally, that's not the case. Normally your healer is a raid leader, or it's never your tank, never your fucking tank.
You want someone who has moment to think.
Usually it's your ranged DPS, or again, your summoner, someone who's in the back lines not doing anything. Well,
not taking a lot of hits. They don't have to. They're not focused necessarily on healing themselves, so they've got time to think about other shit.
See, that's the thing that always drove me up a wall. because being a rogue, why am I always the one they pick for the raid leader? Well, you have the experience in the raid. Well, I don't give a shit. I don't have time to focus on everybody else.
Proper DPS classes got too many fucking abilities to cycle and manage.
Well, I mean, yes, I've got rotation and shit, and that doesn't change. But the thing that always that gets me is I also have to know exactly what the tank is doing at the same time. Being a melee DPS, a burst DPS like I am, if the tank does not have these aggro pulling abilities up, I will rip aggro off of him and die instantly.
Yeah, I want my rogue at all times focusing on making sure that they're not going to be taking damage when they attack. I don't give a fuck what else you do. You poke where you need to, but you stay alive. You're going to be the one eating up my healer spells if you're not careful.
I mean, that's the prime DPS in a lot of games is your rogue, because, like I was saying earlier, like the crit factor is fucking unbelievable. If it goes like in a raid group of like 5 people for most of them, if your rogue goes down, you've lost half of your damage, basically.
Pretty much.
Well, even in WoW, like with a 40-man raid, we were looking at our numbers and everything, and I was pumping out 36% of the DPS as one singular rogue. I mean,
Aaron, at that point, you might want to get a different raid group.
No.
If your ass is hard carrying that badly, you might want to get a better raid group.
We never lost a raid. We never fully wiped. Well, okay, I take that back. We did wipe on Ice Crown, but that was the first time. Like we had raid like freaking Realm first, Ice Crown Citadel, which is the first ones to beat fucking Arthas. The only reason we wiped on that was because Arthas crushes the fucking arena, and if you're in the back, like the back edge, like Arthas has this weird fucking AI where he won't stay on the tank. Like, he'll stay on the tank for the most part, but, like, a lot of times he'll randomly just come out, run towards a random person who did not rip aggro. Like, they could have the lowest fucking aggro. He'll run up and just hit them. So, I mean, he hit me, and it almost one-shot me, so I backed up, right? And when I backed up, the fucking arena fell in, and we lost all our healers and half our DPS.
Rip.
We had a tank and 2 more DPS.
Might as well not even waste supplies at that point.
They jumped off and died on purpose.
My perfect group is the rogue is a person that is just taking care of themselves. If you can be fully functioning by yourself, that's perfect.
Yeah, because I mean, normally you've got a support, you've got a ranger, a tank, and 2 DPS guys. And you want one of them to be relatively on their own.
Have you ever done a raid? You keep talking like a dungeon, man. A raid is usually 20 to 40.
I don't normally have
because that much character coordination is cancer, and I don't want to do it.
I just don't have the friends to do it.
That's the thing. I don't trust 19 the fucking 39 other strangers.
Well, that was my thing. It drove me up a wall trying to organize 39 people and being the rogue on top of it.
Exactly.
Bro, I would have told them. I would have told them if you die and bring down this raid, you're shit out of luck for the next raids.
If they die, like literally, if one of our healers goes down and it was their fault, or if somebody rips aggro and they get wiped, literally they get 0 DKP for that fucking run and cannot bid on any drops for said boss.
So it's like, on top of that, let's add insult to injury because they just died.
Well, I was very harsh with them. Very, very harsh with them because we were the #1 rating guild on our fucking battle group. Literally, that was our whole thing. All we did was raid and raided battlegrounds. So, if you weren't the best of the best, you were booted out. You were not in raid group 1. You were in raid group 4. You know? Like, raid group 1, we were pushing forward every single day. When it came to new raids coming out, we would smash our heads against that damn thing over and over and over again until we beat. I hated being the raid leader. I really did. I hated it with a fucking passion because it's just too much to think at the same damn time. If it was like Brian said, like Brian keeps giving examples, a dungeon group, I could do that. 5 people, I can organize 5 people in 10 seconds. Not a problem.
It's just
39 other fucking people. And
yeah.
For any future viewers who are watching this shit and decided to come back into the archives, literally,
That's all bold of you.
You have awful high expectations for this podcast.
I'm talking about myself.
Aaron,
I'm talking to myself
in
the future.
Have you seen the view count for this? It's not fantastic.
I'm talking to myself in the future, Brian. When I come back to view this, listen to this, stay out of the fire. Red is bad.
Red is bad, he says.
Fire hurt.
Fire hot.
Fire indeed hot.
Yeah.
No, what was it? It's blue fire is cold though, so I mean.
No, blue fire is not cold. It is hot.
Then why is it blue then?
If there's anything on the ground that isn't sparkling green and white, don't stand in it. Ever. If it doesn't look like it's an AoE heal spell, just don't stand in it.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't fucking stand.
It's just one of those things you just look at it. It's like, does this seem like a good idea?
Yeah, right.
Like, have any of you
Did
guys
this come
watched,
from an ally? Yes or no? No.
Did you guys
I'll get the
watch?
fuck out.
Okay, hold, Aaron, hold that thought. Coming up on 2 hours, we're gonna take another break here, then we'll come back.
Let me finish my thought first.
Fine.
You guys
go ahead.
The video about the Onyxia raid on WoW. More dots. Give me more dots. More dots. Okay, stop dots.
What?
Whelps! Left side!
Oh, yes.
Right side! Many whelps!
Yep.
That's a 50 DKP minus!
Yep.
That's literally like the crap I would be screaming at my teams.
Yep.
Like, not only that...
That shit gets intense.
It does get intense. And you do know, raid leader on Hearthstone came from that damn little skit there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Handle it.
Leroy Jenkins came from Leroy anyway, so...
Oh my god. The sad part is, I remember doing that raid, not with Leroy Jenkins, obviously, but I remember doing that raid and wiping so many times because somebody would, like, after that fucking video came out, somebody would always, inevitably, and it was always a fucking paladin, usually our tank, would just go, Leroy, and then go running in, and I'd be like,
son of a bitch.
Fucking leave him. They're like, going after him.
You do it once, at this one time, when you all get together as a group, you're allowed that one stupid moment when you're first experiencing it, and then it will never happen again, or I'm never playing with you again.
Yeah, we usually
exactly. I mean, everyone's got to learn, but after a certain point, he's like, you should have fucking not done that.
Well, that's like,
you should have learned your goddamn lesson.
We were going to Blackrock one time, and that's like near the mountain, you know, bunch of lava and fun shit around there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And at the time, I had been playing a druid that I was normally playing, so I would just, you know, I'd jump off shit, and then hit flight form, and then hit travel form, and just go fucking nuts and shit. Well, I vividly remember we were getting ready to go, and I didn't realize, I don't even know why it didn't dawn on me that I'd swapped fucking characters. I wasn't on my druid, I was on my rogue. And I jumped off this thing, and went to hit flight form, went stealth mid-air, and landed in fucking lava and died. I just remember the whole raid group going, did he just fucking die? And we're on Ventrilo. And I just was like, fuck. I'm out.
That's one
I'm
of those
done.
well fuck moments.
That was exactly what it was.
Okay, we'll take this moment to segue into a break too. Be back in a couple minutes.
Legalize OU.
Shut the fuck up.
We already did that today.
No. We'll fill you in. We'll fill you in after the break. Welcome back to the final bit of the show for the Disorderly Conduct podcast. Quick note before we get away. I'm really pushing for affiliate status on Twitch. So if you like what you see, you'll see the link down below. Go there, click the follow button, and make me really happy.
Yeah, follow this man so he doesn't have to follow every one of you.
Also, the other voice you just heard is MadBullGaming. He occasionally does Twitch streams once in a while. Follow him as well.
Yeah, I'm planning to actually start off with YouTube more than Twitch, so...
God damn it, you're ruining my segue.
I think I just saw the most amazing thing.
Do tell. Share with the rest of the class, Aaron.
You know the ice cream plate things that they pour shit on it and turn it into ice cream?
Jesus.
You know, the ice cream rolls?
Yeah.
They just made an ice cream roll out of fucking Monster.
Now, if we want to talk about things that'll probably give me cancer, I think this is a great way to transition to the next topic.
Bacon for life!
I was gonna say bacon grease, dude. Hell yes.
Nubs.
I'm just... This seems like... Just looking at this, I'm like, man, I want a fucking Monster Energy right now.
Nubs, you wanted to talk about something else that makes people sick?
Brian's face.
Same.
Well, since it's the winter season, this means people are starting to get closer together, spend more time in confined spaces, sharing meals, for like Thanksgiving and shit.
What this means is you should not let your kids go to fucking school when they're sick.
Yeah, it means people get sick.
The kids in my house coming and giving me colds because I don't leave my house.
Legitimately, it wasn't such a big shock for our household because our kids were in daycare, so they never really had this time off to, lose and regain immunity. But when they first started going, one or the other was sick for like 3 months straight, just on and off. It was obnoxious as fuck.
Yeah,
they're trading it back and forth.
When there was a brief period in time where the two of them were fine, and my wife got sick and gave it to me.
Wash your hands. Wear hats that cover your ears, even if it's not super cold.
Yeah,
here in the desert, it's like 12 degrees at night. You should be bundled up.
It's one of those things where you were never doing too little as far as protecting yourself. Using fucking sanitizer to clean your shit, cover your nose. Because, ignoring the shit like the flu, which is really common and really big of a pain in the ass and, potentially lethal depending on your age group. Even ignoring shit like that, getting sidelined with the cold or, pneumonia for a couple weeks is terrible.
And since I know this, to all those emo kids out there, your thin fucking black jacket is not enough to keep you warm this winter. Get something thicker.
I'm sorry.
It is where I'm at. It's 70 degrees right now.
The oversized sleeve with the thumb hole in the middle is not a pair of gloves.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not?
Hell, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt though, so
winter. Right now I'm in the basement with shortened t-shirts, but if I go outside, I want to fucking bundle up.
I just went outside to smoke a cigarette, and I'm in my boxers, so.
Yeah, do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah.
I walk outside on bare feet when the ground is freezing all the time. I'm sick for 3 weeks in a row because I'm stupid. Don't be stupid.
No, to be fair though, last winter, I've got a funny story for you guys. So last winter, I was helping my ex-girlfriend move, right?
Well, there's your first problem.
Well, hold on, because we're still on we were on good terms at that point. So I tell her, look, I'll help you move, yada yada yada. Take me to where you're moving your stuff from, and I'll move you in. So that's all said and done. And then, one day she had to drop one of my pairs of headphones off. And so I was in the shower at the time. I'm texting her. I'm like, I heard my phone vibrate. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I'm like, oh, she's outside in the driveway. So I literally, all I did was, because I just got out of the shower, I walk out the back door with my boots on, still wrapped in a towel.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Just to grab my headphones.
And I'm like, hey, do you want a hot chocolate? She's like, no, I'm good. I gotta keep going. Okay, well, thank you for dropping my headphones back off.
See, I'm cold-blooded. Anything below like 50 degrees, I shut the fuck down. That would not work. That would not work for me.
Dude, it was like
Brian,
below, and I walked outside in a fucking towel and boots.
Brian, do you remember when I would walk home from school in the middle of fucking snow wearing a t-shirt?
Yes. Not all of us made smart decisions growing up. It's okay.
Yeah, but the irony was you'd be the one who got sick, even though you were bundled all up and everything.
Sounds about right.
He'd be bundled all up and shit, and I'd have like my t-shirt, my tight as fuck jeans, my pair of Chuck Taylors walking through the snow, and
this man be doing the Kirk.
Snow's all wet and shit too.
And you call me a basic fucking bitch.
at the time, I was definitely a basic bitch. Although at the same time, I also had a fucking trench coat.
Because that was the height of the edgelord fashion. Trench coat and Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to deny that. But at the same time, I would literally wear the trench coat during, the hotter portion of the year. And during the winter, would wear my fucking t-shirt. And it wasn't just, t-shirts. They were, the band tees, the super thin, no fucking material at all fucking t-shirts.
I did that. I do black pants in summer here in the desert. And then on winter, it would be just shorts.
Aaron,
and a t-shirt.
Aaron, quick side question. Do you have any siphons in RuneScape?
Do I have any what?
Any spare siphons?
Motherfucker.
And I think, and I can't get rid of them right now.
God damn it. Fine.
But no, that's another thing. Can we just say that some construction workers need to have their fucking heads checked and need to actually mark off where they have concrete?
Some?
Mode.
Some?
I remember in high school.
This is a bit of an inside story, but there was a very.
We were walking.
Go ahead.
Walking back from high school, right? And that day, literally, earlier that day, we walked to high school, and there was no construction. There was construction on the other side of the road, halfway down the block. No big deal, right? So we're walking back after school, and did we have chess that night or some? Oh no, it was that fucking stupid ass Key Club you drugged me to. But we're fucking walking back to our house, and literally, they had just redone the sidewalk, didn't have it marked off, nothing.
It wasn't the sidewalk. There was one triangle little section of it at the corner of it. It wasn't marked, it wasn't flagged, it'd been smoothed out so it didn't look like freshly poured concrete or anything. It didn't
even look different.
It had been raining that day, so all the concrete looked fucking wet. And his ass just, we were just walking to school, goes up to press the button, for the light sensor, and falls knee fucking deep into the goddamn concrete.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And the sad part was, I had gotten those shoes the day before.
And the construction worker turns around to yells at us what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, he yelled at me for falling into the concrete. He's like, why are you doing that? And I'm why didn't you fucking mark it? And then I got home and literally had to cut my fucking shoes off.
I would have been by the way, sir, you owe me money. So,
my mother did get a hold of the fucking town and had them do it.
Dude,
the health inspector and shit came out and saw that it wasn't marked off or anything and flipped out on them.
I was gonna say, did they pay you for that compensation?
Yeah, I would hope so, but I didn't follow it. I just laughed my goddamn ass off.
Yeah, they only gave $60, but hey, it got me a new pair of jeans and a new pair of shoes. But I mean, then the next morning it was marked off.
Yeah, the next day it was coned, flagged, and sectioned.
I'm sorry, if you're gonna be pouring concrete, you fucking cone that shit before you take it out.
That's when you do the police line, do not cross around where you pave. Oh, shit. Or do what I do and just, like, look at it and be like, you know, tap your foot if it feels like you're gonna sink in. Just go around.
See, that's the thing. You could have probably done that if something was out of the ordinary, potentially. There was nothing different that day. Literally, you walk to and from. No. They'd been doing construction, like, further down the street, but there was nothing to indicate they'd even fucking touched the main section where we would walk through this busy interstate, or intersection.
To be fair, though, like, at least in my city, the company that does, like, all the concrete and shit, you know, they mark it all off and stuff. They do sidewalks, streets. Hell, my street was paved earlier this summer. And again, they had everything marked off as to where you can go and can't go. And, you know.
See, if they were to just mark it off with something bright and obnoxious, I'd be fine with it. But
yeah, right?
Like the picture Moon just linked in Discord of this ugly ass fucking hoodie.
Motherfucker, you ain't no stuff.
If they were to wrap, you know, that around the area, I'd be fine with it.
If they would have fucking marked the area off, I wouldn't have fallen into the concrete.
But you also wouldn't have gotten a new pair of shoes and a new pair of jeans. So
it was just a pain in the ass, dude. Like,
surprise! Merry Christmas.
I also wouldn't have stepped into concrete, which sounds more annoying than.
Like, by the time I got back, like, we were only, what, maybe a block away from where I lived? By the time I got back, that shit had hardened, and I had a rash on my leg from it, because the freaking lime in it was already burning my skin.
Yeah, I mean, altogether, it's like, you know, half-mile walk or something, and the intersection's halfway done, so it's not particularly far away. But still, is one of those things. It just finished it raining that day, so it was still muggy, and it was the summer, so it was like 80 degrees, and that shit got hard quick.
Yeah,
like, it was immediate.
but you know, got new shoes out of it. Surprise!
Yeah.
Your early fucking Christmas gift.
By the
way,
right.
You know, a $15 pair of shoes from Walmart, knock off Chuck Taylor.
By the way, Moon. That hoodie is very, very weeb status, my guy.
Weeb status?
I'd wear
That's
it.
the Arizona tea, fucking the exact tree with all the branches.
See, the thing is, it looks like a cherry blossom, which gets associated with weeb.
Yeah, it's because that's exactly what it is.
Well, it's a very weeb associated sort of thing, because that shit's an anime all the time.
It's the exact tree of the Arizona shit.
To be fair though, it's a gorgeous looking tree. There's a reason it gets used so often. It's very fucking cinematic. It's very presentable.
Dude, it is. It's beautiful looking.
There's not a more cinematic scene than cherry blossoms flying in the wind.
Hero?
What, Aaron?
Have you ever watched Hero?
Yes. I think everyone's watched Hero.
Is like the best scene of that whole damn thing, other than maybe the library scene.
I can probably come up with a better scene than cherry blossoms falling. However, I feel like Brian and
you ever seen the scene where Bambi's mom got shot?
God damn it! in the spirit of ruining things.
I mean, to be fair, it's bad enough that I mentioned Hitler in a stream. So,
good.
Like,
God damn it.
Like, to be fair, this is the second time I've done it. But no, there's nothing more cinematic than watching the 24 hours of Le Mans race and watching the cars go down the straight at night through the chicanes. Like, that shit is almost poetry in motion, dude. Watching the prototypes go around the GTs.
Speaking of something slightly cinematic-ish, I guess. Nubs, you want to talk about something?
Yeah, the holiday seasons are approaching. We were talking about illness a little bit. I don't know what to classify it as, but mental illness is not a fun time during the holiday season. You got your edgelord friends. If they start acting way too chipper during the holiday season, you should probably check on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then 2, it's getting really cold. That keeps you warm. Put bacon on everything this holiday season. Fuck your pumpkin spice. Do bacon.
See, this is a PSA I can get around. You know, hug your depressed friends and give them bacon.
Yes. Yep. Bacon makes everything better.
Okay.
Bacon makes the world go round.
On the nature of bacon is amazing. We are gonna wrap up for this episode of the podcast. Thanks everybody for joining us. Aaron, anything you want to say for closing remarks?
Nah.
No. Moon, any final words?
Bye.
Well, hang on. Actually, you know what? No, there's one thing I will say. Nib-high football rules.
God damn it. MadBull, anything you want to plug or shout out?
Yeah, legalize a woo, god damn it.
Shut the fuck up.
Man.
One thing I want to say, again, you enjoyed the content, please drop me a follow on Twitch so I can get that affiliate status so I can sell out much more quickly, much more effectively.
No, yes. So he can be a corporate shill and pay us.
Yes, exactly. If I get paid, we all get paid. The money gets split several ways, so do your part. Your country demands of you. Nubs, any last words?
Normally people give you the advice, go fast, eat ass. I'm going to say, enjoy the moment, smoke grass, and eat bacon.
So basically, 420.
So where's the ass part?
It's not what this
you cut out the good part.
420 blazes.
Well, I mean,
get smashed.
Then enjoying the moment, enjoying eating ass too.
No, he's talking about a really good acid trip.
Aaron, you were saying?
It's not what this stream can do for you. It's what you can do for this stream.
That's true.
Bite the bullet, people.
Everybody do your part. Have a good night.
Bite the bullet and follow
artists. We have a Patreon.
Have a good night, everybody. I love you.
Yee.